All right, well, hello everyone, and again, thank you for tuning in. I am excited because we have one of our partners in the studio today. We have Yvonne from Bountiful Harvest in here, and I'm excited because in our office, what we do, for those of you that don't know, is every single month we pick a charity of an employee's choice. We're able to give back to that charity, not only with a check, which I think it's always nice, we have to have checks, right? But this is a situation where our company can get involved and we can actually volunteer and provide more of a value than just a check. So, Yvonne, if you will, tell me a little bit about Bountiful Harvest, if you will, please.
Bountiful Harvest services all of Livingston County with a grocery store, a clothing store, a library, children's playroom, crafts, and a meal on Friday evening, and a breakfast on Saturday morning. And everything we do is free. It's for the needy. We targeted the homeless and the children, and then the seniors came, and it has just blossomed into a wonderful gathering. And when people come in, we make them feel like family, because to step out and say, I need help.
That's a big one.
Is a hard thing for them to do. So when they come in, you want to make them feel welcome, you want to make them feel like a family, and you want to let them know we're here to help you.
That's awesome. Okay. And where are you guys located at? So where can we visit you at if we're out there?
We just built a new facility thanks to wonderful businesses and people in the community and their donations. We just built a new business, and we're located at 290 East Grand River. And if you know where the chamber is, or you know where First Presbyterian Church is, you pull in that driveway in between them, and when you get to the top of the hill, there we are.
So we're neighbors then, right?
We're neighbors.
Yeah, if we were better at playing catch, we could throw you something, you could throw it back to us, right? So I love this thought of giving back, and there is no homeless shelter in Livingston County, right?
No, there's not. We're working on that.
We're working on it. I know, back when we had our office in Howell, across the street from us, is the old court office, and that's where they would always put the figures, if you will, of all the people that are
Right.
that are homeless, and it really is an eye opener because, I hate to say, a lot of us live in a bubble, right? I mean, we're fortunate that we know where our next meal is going to be. We know that when we get done with whatever we're doing, we have a home to go to, we have shelter, we have running water, we have all of these things that.
Table full of food.
Table full of food, you're exactly right. Clothes on our back, right? I know what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I know what my children are going to wear. And so for what you guys are doing is phenomenal, because I love organizations like yours, because it's not just, if you're hungry, let's eat this, right? Mm-hmm. Tell us why you guys are so different.
We're different because we're not a handout, we're a hand up. Okay? A lot of people think that you go to a food pantry, it's a handout. Well, we didn't want it to be that way. Okay, so what we do is we have 2 employment agencies that work with our people to help them get jobs and employed.
Okay.
In our clothing store, we have a section for suits for men, dress pants and shirts. If they're going for an interview at a place that's more casual, they don't need a suit on. And we have also a women's section for clothes for the working woman, the career woman. So and we've had a couple of people come back in and say, I think that suit got me the job.
Yes, absolutely, it does, because look, it's the saying, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you perform good, right?
And dress the part and get the part.
That's exactly right. And I love that, because it is so true. And I think that it's important that, look, there's nothing wrong with, and I hate to use the word handouts, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's helping someone, but I've always looked at what's the real root of the problem.
Right, and we need to get to that root, and that's what we do.
And so walk somebody through it. Let's just say that for those out there that are like us, and we want to be able to help and to give back to you, explain why you guys are so different. So how do we, if somebody comes to you in of need, how do you guys walk them through your process of following your program through of helping them?
Well, when we started out like everybody else, just being a food pantry grocery store, okay? And then we evolved from there, because we wanted to make it to where we helped them up and we helped them out to where they didn't have to come to us anymore. And we're the only one in Livingston County that does everything that we do under one roof.
Okay.
Okay? So we're like the one-stop shop for someone in need. We have someone to help them with finding out how to get their utilities covered. We don't cover that. We help them find the help to get that
The
done.
resources.
Right, the
Sure.
resources. And we also take in consideration that there are always going to be seniors, and there's always going to be veterans, and there's always going to be homeless, because some of the and you know, I have to tell you, Michael, when people come and visit Bountiful Harvest during a time when we're actually operating, they get their eyes really opened wide. I had one of the people that came and volunteered was one of the, let's just say, well-known people in Brighton.
Sure.
Okay. And he didn't tell me who he was when he came in. And I put him to work carrying groceries out.
Sure.
I would have never done that if I had known who he was. But anyway, he come in to me after it was over, and he says, I have never been so humbled in my whole life. He says, Livingston County is the wealthiest county in the state, and I never believed we had poor people.
Right.
We had needy people. He says, oh my God, I can't believe how many people were here today. And every one of them was grateful and thanked me for helping them.
Yes.
And when we look for programs to help these people, we look at programs that are going to get them on the road to recovery, and the ones who can't be recovered because they're homeless because they've had an illness that's damaged their brain. And I say that because we have two of those.
Okay.
Okay. They're never going to be able to work again.
Right.
And one of them is homeless, you know, and God bless his heart, he comes and volunteers a couple of times a week, you know, because, well, first he has no place to go, but he really does want to give back.
Giving back is not just taking.
It's not just taking,
Right.
They want to give back. And that's one of the feelings we want to instill in the people who are like that. Some of the seniors come in, they make less than $400 a month. Who can live in Brighton on $400 a month?
You can't. I mean, trust me. I mean,
Right.
there's no housing out there. I mean, that's housing. That's not even anything else, right?
That's right.
So for those of you folks out there that are listening right now, you guys are a fully registered 501c3,
Yes, we
right?
are.
Nonprofit. So how can we give back? How can, you know, other than with our time and being able to do things, what other programs do you have out there that folks out there that say, hey, this is, and again, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but the holidays are right around the corner,
Oh, yes.
right? I mean, you guys probably already have a full go with the Thanksgiving and the Christmas and the Christmas store and all these other things that are happening. How do we as a community get involved?
How you can get involved several ways, and it depends on the holiday as to how you can get involved. It depends on, do you want to be involved just at the holiday or all year round? We always can use food, non-perishable, especially the canned foods like tuna, mac and cheese, or not mac and cheese, beef ravioli, spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay, something's with a shelf life on there.
Well, with a shelf life, but you notice the things I was mentioning were proteins,
Okay,
not green beans and corn. They're
proteins.
So even your homeless can have protein, because we gave them all can openers.
Okay,
And so they have a can opener, they can have a meal. You know, a can of beef ravioli is a good meal for them. We also tend to look at not just the canned good donations, but at Christmas time, we have the Christmas stores. We set up a room where the parents can go shopping. I say shopping, remember everything is free.
yes.
They can go shopping.
They go pick it all out, right?
They can go
Yes.
pick out all their
Yes.
Christmas presents for
That's
their
awesome.
kids. And the kids, we have another room that the kids can go pick out the presents for mom and dad.
Yes.
And then the scouts usually come in and they wrap all the gifts for them because, oh, mama can't see what I got her.
Yes,
You know?
right.
So, and it's like I say, it's a family atmosphere. So, and then the kids come in and we can usually scoot them into the playroom. Okay, we've got a beautiful children's playroom set up. And so that we can get rid of them for a little while, so mom can go shopping.
Get all the picture stuff out,
Get
right?
their stuff picked out. And we do Thanksgiving dinner. which I say that we give them all the makings for the dinner and they can take it home and cook their own.
They cook their own home and
Right.
it's being provided by them.
Right.
To their
And
families.
Same
Sure.
thing at Christmas.
Okay.
Last year we gave out 156 turkeys at Christmas.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Plus all this, and then
And it's all the fixings. It's not just the turkey. It's,
that was 150 turkeys plus all the fixings for
yes.
that meal for 156. And then at Christmas we gave 153 hams
wow.
and all the fixings plus all the Christmas presents.
Well, that's
and stuff
phenomenal.
we gave them.
That is
And
great.
then of course, Bountiful Harvest is 100% volunteer run.
Okay.
That includes me, the board of directors, on down to my teeniest 1.5-year-old volunteer.
Yes. Well, let's talk a little bit about that because I know that you are the founder of this.
Yes.
What led you to your calling here of this?
Oh, do you really want to hear that
I do.
story?
I do.
Well, I was one of those who drove the caddy and had the nice house on the lake and country club and was set very well for my retirement. Okay. Well, I guess I wasn't where God wanted me to be because all of a sudden I got disabled at work. I got hurt at work.
Okay.
And within 2 months, my doctor told me you're never going back to work again. Okay. So now I don't have a job. I have just built myself a new home. Okay. And I ended up, because I had disability, so that worked out okay, but it wasn't enough to maintain my home, my car, and all the expenses. Okay. So I ended up losing my home. Long story short, I lost everything.
Wow.
And 6 months after that, I had identity theft. And they wiped me out. Now, everybody always says I got cut off at the knees.
Mhm.
I got cut off at the hips.
He took it all.
He took it all. And I had swore, I'd always been the one that ran to the food bank and donated.
Sure.
You know. And now here I am, I'm looking for help. It's impossible to find help. Nobody wants to tell you all the resources available to you.
You're right.
You know, you go to one agency, and if you fill that paperwork out right, and boy, it takes a Philadelphia lawyer to fill it out right, they'll say, okay, yes, you qualify for food stamps. What they don't tell you is, yeah, you also qualify for Medicare, and you also qualify for this.
Right.
Okay. And so you're pulling teeth and you're going farther and farther, you're sinking. This whole time you're waiting to get through this process, you're just sinking farther. And I was within 3 days of being homeless. And I had swore I would never, ever live in a mobile home.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Guess where I live?
Yes.
I live in a manufactured home. Yes. I do. It's pretty.
Yes.
But the man who entrusted me to buy it stood in what's now my living room and said to me, I don't know why I'm doing this. I've never done it before. He said, but I'm going to trust you. And I told him how much I had to give him, and it wasn't very much. And he says, oh, I don't want to take it all because that's all you got. He says, so I paid him off in 5 years.
Wow.
He delivered the deed to my house. He was so excited that I had not let him down, and he had
That is
been
phenomenal.
led the right way. But during the process, I went to work for a food bank. And
In the area?
in the area.
Okay.
Okay, and at that time, it was almost to the point you had to prove you didn't need it to get it. You know, you had to have income tax returns, you had to have your last 6 weeks pay stubs. If you had children, you had to have mail coming to the house with their
Yes.
name on it. It was ridiculous.
There was almost every reason not to get you qualified.
Right. And the one that hurt me the worst was when I hate this word, I qualified seniors.
Okay.
And if they make, and it's anybody, but I was qualifying seniors at the time, this hurt me the worst. If they make 50 cents a month too much, they get nothing.
Yes. I see it all the time in my business.
Yeah.
All the time.
What can you do with 50 cents?
Nothing.
Nothing.
But it gets some, I mean, there's veterans benefits out there that are thousands of dollars a month, and if they make 50 cents more,
Yeah.
they get nothing. Because those benefits are, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a dollar under, you get the full
You get the full gamut.
$1,500, whatever it is.
Right.
Not just the $1 to make up
No.
the difference. No, they give you the whole thing.
They don't prorate it
Yes.
according to how much you're over.
Yes.
I would be more comfortable if they prorated it. But
Yes.
they
They
didn't.
don't. No.
They don't.
Isn't it crazy?
It is crazy. And when you see someone who's 80 years old or 86 years old, and they're living on $350 some dollars a month, and somebody looks at them and says, well, you're living above your means? Oh, give me a break.
Well, it's because they've done everything in their power to get to that point where they can still survive.
Survive.
So why are we punishing them, right? Yes.
Right. And the children really gets to me because if a parent, I have one client right now that the amount of money they make is 150% under poverty.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be 200%.
Unbelievable.
Okay? He has 4 kids and a wife, and he's living on $2,400 a month, putting them through school, paying a house payment, paying a car payment. And they said, well, you're living above your means. Where do they want him to live?
Right. 4 kids.
With 4 kids,
Right.
where do they want him to live? Okay? I have clients that in the summertime, they live out at Bishop Lake in tents. Bountiful Harvest next project, well, our next project was we're teaming up with Honda.
Okay.
And we're going to give underprivileged kids a chance to ride a dirt bike.
That's pretty cool.
Learn about it, learn how to operate it, learn how to take it apart, put it back together again, and then move on to become mentors themselves, counselors, or end up becoming mechanics.
I was going to say mechanics, if you're taking it apart and putting it back together.
And these are kids that probably never going to see college. Okay?
Right.
And we also have Connected Kids, which we give free laptop
I
computers.
saw that on here.
Yeah, to children in the 5th and 6th grade who are on the free lunch program. And we're starting up programs at the first of the year. We're going to be starting up classes teaching them how to repair computers, teaching them how to program computers.
All volunteer based.
All
I gotta
volunteer-based.
make sure we point that out.
All
right?
volunteer
Yes.
based. And all the computers, this year we've given out over 100
Wow.
computers. And we've got about 400 more
And where do those come in from right now?
right now from the schools.
Okay.
And we've hit Heartland, Brighton, and Howell. And we haven't hit Pinckney yet because we have, like I say, we've got about 400 computers now that still need to go out to these 3 school
Okay.
districts. And how we get the computers is they're donated. You have an extra laptop computer that you replaced a long time ago, but you've never thrown it out.
Okay.
So you bring it to us, we wipe it clean,
Okay.
and he loads it with all the programs and the operating system for
Right.
the kids, and then he teaches them how to use it.
That is phenomenal. That is really cool. Anything big coming up that the community can really, obviously we know that there's always a need, right? People well, let's just take a step back. How do people reach out? If you're listening right now and you're saying, okay, I'm ready with my time to give back or my resources to give back, how do they get a hold of you guys?
They can call us. We're at 810-360-0271. They can go on our website, which is www.bountifulharvest-mi.org. And there's a spot on there to volunteer. There's a spot on there to email and ask questions. And either myself or our volunteer coordinator will get back to you. Stop by. We're closed on Sunday and Mondays. That's our weekend.
Okay. And so just stop by, say I'm ready to give in. You know, there's a lot of stuff, folks, that you can do in the financial world. You guys, you've done all the right things. I mean, I got to applaud you for that. I mean, you're the 501c3, so from a financial standpoint, there are things that people can give back. And look, it's not that we're doing it for selfish reason, but there's tax benefits to doing that. So you
That's
guys
true.
have done the right things. You can volunteer with time. You can volunteer with, giving back with your money. You can give coats. You can give hats. You can give clothes. Whatever it is, folks, if you're listening, there are plenty of opportunities to reach out to you guys. In closing here, when we look at this, and I always love to do this, close me with a story. I know you've shared a few with me, but what's one that, if you could describe Bountiful Harvest in a story of someone or something, what would you say?
Well, what Bountiful Harvest is all about is when this happened with one of my clients. This mother came walking in and had to have a little one, was probably about 4. Okay. And we always have food out, you know. And so I'm trying to, we ask no questions. You don't have to prove you or your children exist to us.
Right.
And no income is asked. I'm sitting there and I'm filling out her name and her address so we can account for the food that went away. And the little boy reaches over and tugs on her pants. And she looks down at him and she goes, "Honey, I'll be a minute. But Mommy, I'm hungry." And so I just went ahead and asked her a couple more questions, and I didn't. And then I looked and said, "You know what? While we're doing this, why don't you let him go over there?" And I said, "There's cupcakes, there's pancakes, there's orange juice, and so he don't have to stand here through the boring part. He's 4.
Right.
He's not going to do that
Yes.
too well." And she looked at me and burst into tears. And I said, "You don't have to cry." She said, "Yes, I do. I've got 1 container of yogurt in my refrigerator. There's nothing else in my house. We haven't eaten 2 days."
Wow. That just gets you. That's why you're doing what you're doing. You're
That's why I'm
you're
doing it.
making a difference.
Making a difference.
Well, I love to hear it. Keep up the great work. For those of you in the community, please reach out to us. Go directly to them. We'll get you in touch with them. But I can't thank you enough. It's a phenomenal story. You're doing phenomenal good. And I can't praise you enough for being the step up instead of just a handout. It's the the hand up. So
That's the important thing.
that's exactly it. So keep doing all those great things. Thank you again for coming in. I know we're excited to be able to partner with you and just keep continuing to grow from here.
Thank you.
Thank you.